All right, I'll show you the date and time first. It's 4:32, September 2nd. Okay. Now, if you're new to this series, it will not make any sense to you because this is like part four. This is like part four of the story, the true story of me chasing my dream. I made a decision and I lost everything, every single thing. I was penniless, homeless uh, in Dubai, not even food to eat. Okay. And then the strangest thing started to happen in my life. Obviously, when you don't have money, not even your own brother or sister, nobody gives you not even a glass of water to drink. So I thought I would make only part one of the series, but now this is part four. The playlist is down below if you have not seen it before. And what surprised me is it turned out to be a very intense story. I thought I would make just one video. So the first one is 36 minutes. The second one is 31 minutes. The third one is 48 minutes. And that was the most intense. I never expected to cry. That was a video where not only I cried, people who saw the video, they cried. When you don't eat, when you don't have food to eat, and Russell Peters says, this is food to eat. So, how I was standing there looking at a sandwich being cut, and I was hungry. So, that was part three. And then I, I ended that, and I told people the next part is where I remember I'm penniless on the streets, penniless, no money, nothing. And with one sheet of paper. I told you, in my other videos, I always believe in using a sheet of paper and pencil whenever I write anything. And there's some magic to it. I really can't explain. Maybe you could say this is superstition or whatever. By the way, I'm having my black espresso in the morning. Just woke up, you know that. So, and how that sheet of paper changed my life. I wrote, I actually wrote to Tony Robbins. I don't know if you know Tony Robbins. He is the most famous personality, peak performance coach. He's a multimillionaire. I wrote to him, and to my shock and surprise, he responded. You cannot get him to respond. I don't know how I managed to do that. And the biggest shocker that you'll find out through this video is how I'm penniless. Remember, I'm on the streets. I get someone who gives me money and never takes it back. Okay, so this is going to be the story. As you can make out, I'm still dazed. I don't know whether to tell you watch this at 2x speed, or it's up to you. You want to watch it at 2x speed, you want to watch it when you're cleaning dishes or driving or whatever. But I'm going to make this video from the heart, unscripted. Like I told you, I just woke up. And what's the time? 4:30, whatever, 4:36 now. Yeah. So the only thing which I'm going to do is I've written down the bullet points on the paper. I will refer them so that I know that I'm still making sense. And by the way, FYI, you can see this shirt, which is loose. Okay, I want you to visualize the black version of this shirt. It was more or less like the same shirt, very loose, because that time I was 100 kilos fat, unhealthy. Okay, so my story starts from there. Okay, so having said that, remember, where I left you off was this guy, this Muslim, Keralite Muslim, is his cafeteria. They were cutting the shawarma. I didn't have food to eat, and he gave me food to eat. Where my own mother, father, brother, sister, nobody came to my aid in Dubai. Okay, so here I am. The scene is there's a plastic table. I'm crying and eating food because I'm hungry. And I asked for the sheet of paper and pencil, and I'm writing. So what am I writing? So when I took the piece of paper and pencil or pen, I can't remember. I decided to write down what do I need to change my life. Like right now, I'm at the lowest point in my life. What do I need? Obviously, the first thing which I needed was, food and water, which this guy was giving me. I needed a place to stay. I didn't have a place to stay because all my books and everything was kept in a watchman's kind of extra room. I was homeless right now. So I needed a place to stay. I needed money. Money was very, very important because I didn't know how I was going to make it through the day. I just had enough money to save me for little bit of expense like taxi or if I have to go to any place for an appointment or because I need to work also, right? And okay, I need some food, but I have to be careful. So I didn't know what to do. So place to stay, money, yeah, food. I already wrote that, and then I was like, I can't live like begging people. So I need a job. I need work. I don't work. So if I have work, what work can I do? I'm unemployed. I didn't want to be an employee. And obviously, that time I think uh, I if I recollect, I didn't have the full face tattooed. I just had tattoos which were visible like this. So, okay, I'll do training programs. But in order to do training programs, I needed certification. So, you go to any company, any HR, and you tell them, I'm a trainer. Okay, I'll do a free session. They will ask you for credentials, certification. So, the only certifications I had, sorry, I didn't have any. Yeah. So, I had to get certifications. And so I wrote down, okay, certifications. I'll find out who offers training for some coaching so I can get some certificate. So to, you know, at least to show them so I'll get some job. And that is how I met the guy with the fake degree. So you see how my story is woven. Because when you apply to HR and tell them I'll conduct a training, okay, can you give me your credentials? So to show them the stamped certificates. Okay. Nowadays, I don't know if that practice is still there. Okay. And then I was like, okay, if I have to give them certificates, then I have to read some books, I have to update my knowledge on the latest trainings. So there I wrote, okay, I will contact Tony Robbins' company, the firm, and ask them how much are all the books, how much are all the course material. I'll go through that. And then it was like, okay, you can get all this. But then there were other problems. I need to travel. Taxi is important. Taxi is expensive. Oh, bigger than that, I forgot to mention. I didn't have a computer. I didn't have a computer. I needed an iMac. I was always using iMacs. I said, okay, at least a laptop or second-hand something. So there were so many challenges, and I didn't know where to start, man. I was like, oh, all these things I need: money, laptop, internet connection, place to stay, food to eat. I was like, where the hell, what will I do? But like I've always told you, and I tell people when I conduct training programs, and even today, I tell them, write all of it on a sheet of paper. Write all of it. So I wrote down all my problems. The only reason I was relaxed was I was eating that shawarma, so I was a little happy. Okay, so I wrote down all this. I'm looking at that list and I don't know where to start, man. You're talking of maybe 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the night, and okay, place to stay, money, laptop, business, conduct a training program, make, taxi, or how will I move around? So I wrote down all this. Okay, Tony Robbins, coaching certification. I was like, okay. Then I looked at the list. See, when you write it down, no, it gives you clarity of thought. And then I was like, okay, so right now I finish eating. I will definitely need a place to stay. Suppose you want to go to toilet, where do you go, man? Okay, I can go to some McDonald's or some other. Can I use your toilet or 24-hour place? It's not like you can't go like India public. I was like, okay, place to stay. I need a place to stay. So I was looking at the list and well, I can't do anything, right? Okay, so I kept the list down and I was still thinking. Okay, now what happened was after I finished eating, by the time I finished eating, I told that sir, thank you, that Malayali Muslim guy. And he told me in the kindest words, Eda, tumko kuch mangta hai, aja. Okay, means whenever you want, eat some. I told, me aayega. Because, I had to tell him that I'll come back. So there was some little French fry and all that. So I said, ye mein rakega. He said, rako, rako. So one other guy was cutting the shawarma thing. He gave me some pieces. He said, keep. Okay. And I took some pickle, the pickle, no? So just to eat a little bit. Okay. And I asked him for a small bottle of water, okay, which I wanted to pour, but he said, no, take a small bottle of water. Okay. So here I got up from the plastic chair, that very famous plastic chairs and, this thing. So I got up and I walked. I'm a little not clear which side did I walk, left or right, but I remember I got up to walk. As I'm walking, okay, away from that place, taking that sheet of paper with me, okay, I don't know whether I took the pencil with me or not, but I had the sheet of paper. Suddenly, out of the blue, this might sound like a movie. I'm serious, huh? This might sound like a Hollywood movie, scripted. And if I made the movie, nobody would believe me because a lot of things to come. You will say, no, no way, man. This is not possible. It is impossible. I don't know how to convince you. Okay. So I got up and I was walking, and suddenly this four-wheel drive, I think it was a Pajero, if I'm not mistaken, four-wheel drive, it comes and just parks at the side and it kind of horns, when they want someone's attention. So I look up, and I see someone inside. I can't recognize who is it, and it parks at the side here, and out, it parks, and out walks a very, like a guy with a suit. Um, I couldn't recognize him. He turned out his name is George. I'll not give his full name. His name is George. And he's a Christian Malayali Orthodox. So one you had a Malayali Muslim, and here you have a Christian Orthodox. Orthodox, if I remember, yeah. And yeah, Loy. I still remember. Loy. Okay, I was Loy. Okay. So I looked at him, I was like, who the hell? Hey, Loy, how are you? I couldn't remember who's he, what. I said, sorry. Hey, Loy, I'm part of Toastmasters. Toastmasters. So I said, okay, Toastmaster. I'm trying to figure out, okay, who's he? I'm trying to figure out where to stay and, 100 things in my head. And here is a guy super happy. Oh, Loy, hey, what are you doing here and all that? So I told him, I'm just walking, I didn't want to, obviously can't tell him all my problems. Just, okay, what do you do here? He's saying, I stay in this building. The place where I ate, the Ultima cafeteria, to make you understand. This is, I think both these buildings are the same size. Okay, let me give you something that looks the same size. Okay, one more sheet of paper. Okay, so think, for example, these are two buildings. You see, I keep all the sheets of paper so I can write notes. So think, for example, these are the buildings, you're facing them, you're looking at them. Okay, so if I was looking at them, yeah. So this would be Ultima Cafeteria. This would be Ultima Cafeteria. They are both joined. No, sorry, little gap is there in between. They look more or less the same. So here is Ultima Cafeteria. Here is they had some Arabic sweets, and the traffic moves this way. Okay, so I finish walking from here. I ate at Ultima Cafeteria, and I was walking this side. Okay, and here is a big parking spot. So After eating food here, I walked here, met that guy George, and I asked him, "Where do you stay?" He pointed at this building. Okay, he doesn't stay at this Ultima building. He stays at this building. So I was like, "Oh, you stay there? Oh, okay, fine." He's saying, "I stay here." I said, "You're with your family?" No, 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 no. My family is they stay. I don't know. He gave in Abu Dhabi or something, if I recollect. Your family stays there. He said. Then I asked him, "What do you do here?" No, this is a company provided accommodation. Whenever I have meetings, they've given me a two-bedroom apartment, and I stay here sometimes, and I come once a week because it's very far from where I stay, and just to meet with the customers or any work boss gives. I said, "Oh, okay." So he said, "Did you have food, or would you like to come and anytime come and visit and all?" That time, I don't know what happened. I just blurted out, "I need a, right now I'm going through some problems. I need a place to stay, and I'm just a lot of things I'm just worried about." I don't know. I just blurted it out, and immediately, seriously, this is the part will you not believe. Immediately, he said, "Loy, you can come and stay in my place." I, Immediately, I looked at him. I was like, stay in your place? Like what? Your family there?" "No, no, no, Loy. I stay in one bedroom. This is a two-bedroom. I stay one. There's another room which I keep for sometimes guest or anyone who comes to visit our company, or if there is anything, you can stay in that other room. There is a bed there. There's a simple bed, nothing great. There's an AC. You can stay there." I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "When can I come?" You can come now." He's saying, "Come now." I said, "And where you'll be?" "No, I'm coming to stay there. You can take the other room and all that, and we can have dinner." I told him I already had food. "Okay, okay. So come now." I'm serious, not joking. Right then and there, I was offered accommodation. And I was like, "Okay." So then I told him, "Can you just give me some time? I have to get a few things." And yeah, yeah, fine. So he told me where he stays. He stays on the first floor. Okay. He first showed me the place. It was a very simple place. There was no TV, no nothing. No nothing. Just not carpet, plastic, this thing, carpeting. There was a kitchen. There was a toilet. There was a kitchen in the front. One room was here where he was staying. This was the other room. Okay. Then there was an AC here, an AC here. And he also had internet. The basic connection. Uh, did he have internet, or did I buy later? I think he had internet. I'm not too sure. I'm being honest with you. Okay. So um, I was like, okay, this is a perfect place to stay, and no noise, nothing. Okay. So I told him I'll come back. I think I had to go get some other things, toothpaste, this, that, which was kept in someone else's house. So I had to go a little bit walking. He said, "You come down. I'm here only." So here I had my magic sheet of paper where I wrote down accommodation. I was very happy. Um, I don't know whether I asked him or how I managed. I got my pencil, pen, whatever, and I wrote down, okay, accommodation, cancel. So I was very happy. So I went, um, I got my stuff. By the way, one more thing which I wanted to mention. I was wearing, flip flops. And another thing, which I don't know if I said this in the previous video, my trouser, no? Like you have, these are the legs of the trouser. Okay, these are the legs. Think, for example, this is the legs. From here inside, I think on the right hand side, it was stone inside. I don't know how the hell did it tear. It was very loose because I was very fat. It tore. So to hide that, I was wearing a shirt like this, black, which was so loose. It looked like a dress. It came up to the knees, so it covered it. And this part is important, and I'll tell you why. So I covered it because you can't show a torn jeans. But that was the only jeans I had, and the tear was like I think so big. Okay, so I would keep it hiding. Okay. So now I have a place to stay, very happy. So I came back there. And he was kind enough to offer the place to stay. I can't recollect. I'm trying to remember about the soap, shampoo, those details I really can't remember. I think there was a soap. I think obviously must have been. But toothbrush I had, toothpaste I had little. Okay. And yeah, so he told me to stay. We spoke till late night, and morning he told me he will leave. He gave me an extra key. He told he will leave, and he said, "You stay how long you want, no problem. Just stay how you long, and if anything you want, you can tell me." I said, "Okay." And so fine. I went to sleep. I don't know how I went to sleep, but I remember one thing: when lying on the bed, no, uh, I think there was a pillow. Not too sure. I think there was a simple blanket. He had put on the AC. There was a fan, I think, there. I can't remember. Fan was in the hall. Yes, fan was in the hall, not in the bedroom, not in that simple room. It was just one um, raised, like a mattress, you know, like how you have, no, the body, and on top you have a thin bed. It was good enough. Okay, so I was lying down there, I remember. And I was still thinking, I still had my sheet of paper, no computer, no nothing, piece of paper. And when you don't have anything now, you just look up at the ceiling. I remember looking up and I'm just thinking, what's next? What's next? What do I do next? I didn't have any answers. All I knew this was, okay, I got food to eat and go there sometimes. I have a place to stay. Okay. Now I need money. Obviously, need money. Okay. What do I do? Where do I go? If I go to someone, what do I ask? How do I ask? I had I think, mobile phone, if I'm not mistaken, a little bit of credit. I could give people missed calls. Okay, if I call them up, what will I ask them? So I prepared my script. I was like, I'm not going to give them a long story. Nobody has time. Nobody gives a damn. I'll keep it to the point. And then I was like, okay, I also have to get these courses to certify myself. Then this Tony Robbins, if I write to his company, it'll cost me a lot of money. Okay, I need a laptop also. Where do I get a computer? So thinking all this, I don't know, I just dozed off. When I woke up in the morning, sunlight was there. Okay, the curtains were very light. Woke up and brushed my teeth. And remember, I'd taken some French fries. Okay, and I could snack on that. And walked down. The cafeteria was closed. They open up only, I think, after in the afternoon or something. So they were afternoon or this thing, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, whatever. So I was like, okay, they're still not open. So I'll have breakfast. Those days I used to eat breakfast. I was a little hungry. Like, okay, I'll eat something later. Then I came back in the room. I sat down. There was no music. There was nothing. There was only this table, small little plastic table in the middle of the hall room where you would eat something. So I sat down there and once again had my paper and my pencil. And I was like, okay, now what do I do? As far as I can remember, I was like, okay, make some phone calls, make calls, and known people, you talk to them. Like, so I asked myself, what do I talk? The guy picks up the phone. I was visualizing, okay, if he picks up the phone, I can't tell him, hey, this is Loy, I need your help, I need this thing. Nobody's interested. And I was like, if the guy's working and he's busy at work and I call him up, he doesn't know what is my situation, I have within 30 seconds to 1 minute to make my case and to have a call to action. Otherwise, if you tell people, please help me, yeah, Loy, send me your CV, I'll see what I can do. Or, I'll get back to you. And here I didn't even have a computer to send an email. So I was like, okay, so what I need to do is to the point. Uh, all right. I'm going through a tough time. I'm going through a financially tough time. I'm trying to recollect my script, which I written down. Going through a tough time. Um, I don't want, I don't, all I need is either two things. One is if you know anyone who can help me with money, which I cannot return. And I told them, I need money which I cannot return. Or if anyone can give me an opportunity to conduct a training program, okay, you can make it. I don't need anything in return. If they can offer something of value, that'll be great. And this is complimentary. It's worth $500. Or that time, I think it was $500. I said, I'll offer a free training because I want to get back on my feet. And number three, which I told, three things, I think, or two things. Um, I need I Yeah, I told them, yeah, one is money because I need, computer, internet, whatever, which I can never return. Second, and I told them I need certification of my course. And second one, I said, company where I can offer value. And I even told them, if you can give me a name now, I'll call them up and use your reference. I'll not trouble them. But if they say no, I'll not disturb them. And if you feel I'm troubling you, I'll not call you again. Seriously, I told them to the point. If you feel I'm bothering you, I'll not trouble you again. Okay? But if you can give me the name, I will call them. And this is exactly what I'll tell them. So you see, it's more or less a very structured 30 seconds to 1 minute. I would finish saying everything and I would ask them, can you give me the name right now? Because if not right now, when? After half an hour, 1 hour. I just need 1 to 2 names who I'll use your reference. And I ask them the same thing, money, or I'll conduct a training program or another reference, like a chain. If not you, okay. Do you have reference? No. So, simple script. It was a very weird request. And but I didn't have the luxury, had to start, right? So I started the calls. I do not know how many calls did I make, but people were courteous, to my surprise. They were courteous. They were not like, hey, bugger off and all that. And people were surprised because apparently my life was going on fine until then. And lucky for me, luck is a very important factor because I was to conduct a lot of training programs to a lot of people. And because I was famous in the Toastmaster circles as a great speaker, many people picked up my phone. They did pick up. Like I told you, luck. If they had not picked up my phone, I don't know what I would do. But the people who could help me was, like they say, yeah, even you can have 1,000 contacts. How many can help you? Not even one. So I started making calls. And remember, I have to make calls. So per call, my credit was going down. Some people I even said, can you call me back right now? Because, yeah, don't waste your money. I'll call right now. Okay. So I'm not sure how many calls I made, but by the time it was afternoon, I got this guy. I'll give you only his first name. His name is Suresh. Remember, there was this character, George, Malayali Christian Orthodox. Here was Suresh. Suresh was a Hindu atheist. Getting one Muslim guy who fed me, then one Christian Orthodox guy, and here's a Hindu atheist. He had two sons. He has two sons. And so I told him what my situation was. Same thing. And he was like, Loy, I know one guy. Okay, now Suresh is important. Loy, I know one guy. Let me talk to him. I'll call you back in the evening. Okay, I know one guy. I think he can help you. So that was the only positive call, whole like afternoon, 2, 3 hours that I called. That was the only positive this thing. So I was like, okay, fine. By the time it was lunchtime, so I knew that, okay, even I'm hungry. It's like, okay. So once again, I finished all those calls. Only one person said something positive. Okay. Others were, yeah, Loy, I'll speak to someone, I'll get back to you, or they give me a reference. I can't remember. So I used my trusty paper. Afternoon, I went down and I knew that I didn't know when I was going to get money or food. So don't ask too many expensive things or just ask simple. But he gave me what his staff was eating, rice and a little bit of curry with vegetables, Malayali food. So I ate a little bit of that. I was happy. He was saying, come again, he told me. So, food was not an issue. Evening, I remember, then finally, I had to call this guy. George, I think George, he had come and he had gone because he had to go back to Abu Dhabi or wherever he was staying. So the house was all for me. I sat down there and I called Suresh in the evening. I called him in the evening and I say, Suresh, can you call me back? Because, I didn't. Yeah, I'll call you back. So called me back and he said, Loy, okay, so you told me that you need someone who can help you with money, okay, for studies or coaching or, computer or whatever. and you need someone who can give you an opportunity to perform at their company for free, and then you can talk of business. Fine, okay. He said, give me half an hour. I'll call that guy. I'll call one of my contacts, and I'll get back to you. I said, fine. I waited, I think, half an hour or so, and then the call came. And told, yeah, Loy, I spoke to him. His name is Arun. Okay, Arun, will not give his full name. Remember Arun. Again, once again, Hindu guy, Malayali. All Malayali contacts. Okay. So he said, call Arun right now. Okay, give him a missed call. You can ask him to call you back and talk to him. And I was like, okay, fine. So I said goodbye to him. And before I called Arun, I just quickly jotted down what would I tell him, because I was like, maybe he doesn't have time. I don't know who's he. I don't know, he's young, old, whatever. So I called up Arun, and he said, Loy, would you like me to call you back? I said, yes, please. So he called me back. He said, hi, Mr. Arun. He said, just call me Arun. I said, okay. But I still felt Mr. Arun, Arun sir, or whatever I called him. I told him, hi, Arun, because I don't know, he's young, he's old, what? I said, Arun, this is my situation. So I told him to the point, not long sob story. I lost everything. I lost my job. I lost everything. I'm so and so years old. I had a script. I was looking at it. And I'm literally on the streets. Even my own brother, mother, father, brother, sister, everyone. Nobody's giving me even food to eat. And right now, someone has given me food. Someone has given me a place to stay. All I want is a little bit of money. I don't want money, you to give me cash. I want money to buy a computer so that I can do some work. I want money for internet. I want money for just, just traveling. And I'm offering a coaching program, which I don't want money for. In exchange, if people can give anything or an opportunity, if I'm good enough, give me a chance to perform. And finally, I told him, I want to write to Tony Robbins and get some course material. So I'll study and earn a living. So I gave him the whole pitch in, I think, less than 15, 20 minutes. He listened to what I had to say. He was like, okay, Loy, can you come tomorrow to my office? So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll come to your office. So he said, I'm in Hamriya free zone. I said, okay. Yeah, I said, I'll come there. Where he gave me a zone, an area. It's a free zone. He said, you come to that zone, you come to that area, and we will talk. I said, okay, fine. So then, I don't know, he asked me, Loy, do you know where it is? I said, I don't know where it is. I'll ask somebody. Then he asked me, how will you come? How will you travel? So I told him, I'll take a taxi and then I'll ask somebody to give me a lift. Because the free zone, Saja free zone, Hamriya, is in a very far, remote place. It costs a lot if you go by taxi. So he's like, okay, I will send a car to pick you up. I was like, I'm sorry that I'm giving you so much of income. No. I have an extra driver. He's doing nothing anyway. He'll pick you up and he'll take you all the way to my office, because otherwise you'll not find it. I was very grateful because it was quite a distance. Okay. So he gave me the number to coordinate with the guy who would pick me up, his driver. Okay. Next day, I think it was 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, I had to get ready. So next day, once again, same clothes, nothing much. It's not that I was not having bath or no clean clothes. I was just wearing simple. Like I'd have shirt like this and jeans, that same tone jeans, flip-flops. So the car came and picked me up and drove all the way. The guy was not very chatty. He didn't know who the hell I was. I had some, big guy tattoos, and he was looking at me like odd. Again, Malayali guy. So he takes me, inside the free zone, and I'm not sure. I think I had my passport. Otherwise, you're not allowed to enter without an ID. And he took a guest pass. He paid for it, luckily. So, because you can't enter that zone without authorization. So he went and he said, I have an appointment. So he went and took me to that place. I still remember it. It was a full-fledged company. I can't get the name. I think it was Green International. It was like a big company. It was not small. So I was like, ooh. Like the car park there, looking at like a warehouse kind of a space. made into an office, like a proper office. I think there were 2 floors, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Got down, went there, and full-fledged office. Everyone has their, when you enter an office, think any office, there is cubicles, not like enclosed, open, open offices, partition. A table is there, computer is there. Next one, table is there, computer is there. So there was a reception desk, if I remember well. Afterwards, when you go inside, everyone's working, it's divided into place. You have to walk in the center. And then I had to walk upstairs. Walk upstairs. It was a very modern, contemporary kind of office, see-through glass. And upstairs were the higher management. And his enclosure was a glass, complete glass. You could see through it. There was a sofa, I remember, and there was this table. And he was not there. So I was waiting, standing there. Everyone's looking at me because, big guy with tattoos, but not on the face. I was, like a power lifter. Well, looking, and I'm like, who the hell is this? Baldy, whatever. So, because I had taken an appointment from him, his secretary, there was a South Indian lady. She didn't like me one bit. She was very tough and rough. Oh, she turned out to be the biggest headache, but later on turned out to be my biggest supporter. She was his staff. But she didn't like me at that time. She was like, what are you here for? Like, like barking orders. I was like, did I? She was a very dark-skinned lady. I was like, what did I do to this lady? Why she doesn't like me? You can make out. Yeah, what do you want? Where you come here? Like, like, came to meet Mr. Arun Shekhar. What is your name? Told him, my name is Loy. He has an appointment. She looked at, okay, go sit there. Like, it's like, yeah. Went and sat down there. Okay. Because I was maybe dressed up like a beggar or whatever. Went and sat down there. Sat down on the sofa and I'm waiting. Okay. No, sorry. There was no sofa, I think. There was just that very modern chairs. Can't remember. Okay. Let's assume I sat down. His table was there. I sat down on the chair. It's a very comfortable, not a heavy chair like this. I'm sorry, I'm trying to recollect. It's so long, man. Long ago. So, yeah, there was a sofa. I didn't think I sat on the sofa. Sat near the table. Waited, kept looking around because you could see the glass, no? The office. And finally, in walks this man. I still remember what he was wearing. A very simple trouser. I think jeans, yes. Very simple jeans. Think like Steve Jobs, but not black turtleneck. He had a beard. He was bald, white, a lot of whites. A guy maybe in his 50s, really thin, not fat, like Steve Jobs, like I told you. But he was wearing white shirt, office kind of shirt. He didn't have a tie. He didn't have full sleeve. I think it folded up sleeves, whatever. Walking around. And when he came in, and very soft voice, hi Loy, how are you? Like, very soft voice. So in walked, and I guess he was Arun Shekhar because he was going to every area and checking, and then yes sir. So hi Loy, you're Loy, right? I said yes, I'm Loy. Hey, hi Loy, how are you and all that. So I stood up. No, Loy, sit down. So I was like, kind of shy, and he came and sat down. So I sat down, and then say, yeah, Loy, Loy, did you have tea, coffee, anything? I was hungry, So I told him, yeah, if can I have some tea? Okay. Yeah. And he was like immediately called for tea and all that. And I think I asked him. I said, do you have any like biscuit or anything with that? Okay. Wait. Hello. And then he asked them for some biscuits, biscuits or snacks or whatever. I was hungry, man. So yeah, then he asked me, do you want something to eat? We can get you a sandwich. No, sir, just biscuit. I just want biscuit. You sure? Okay. And then he opened up what was a bowl of fruits. He had a bowl of fruits and fresh fruits. And by the time that lady, who was very grumpy, grouchy, she came in. Sir, she knocked. Okay. She came in and she was, talking, and he was eating his fruits. I was nicely looking at the fruits. I was hungry. Okay, but I looked down. So they finished, and by the time the tea came, and I was very happy with the tea, tea with milk and this thing. I started drinking, eating the biscuit. I think I asked for one more cup of tea. So he said, yeah, yeah. And I said, can you put some more milk? They put that condensed milk, no? Not condensed milk, the thick milk, so it tastes nice. So I said, can I have some more tea? Yeah, 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 sure, sure, sure. Okay. Got some more biscuits. Okay. So then obviously I have to tell him what I wanted. So I told him, so this is so and these are the things I need. And he looked at me, and I could see literally like his tears welling up in his eyes. In fact, I'm sorry, but this is one part I'm not too sure if I remember. I remember standing up, I don't know, standing or whatever, and telling him my story. I don't know how I stood up. And I told him what I needed, standing or sitting, whatever. And I told him that I, I will make a comeback. I will succeed. All I need is a little bit of money to complete my course, to get a computer, second hand, whatever, just to type. I need an internet connection. And I could see tears in his eyes, nearly tears in his eyes. Finally, he told me, okay, how much do you need, Loy? Okay. I had a rough figure, which I told him, sir, 200,000 dirhams. Remember, 200,000 dirhams. Forgot to mention one important detail also. When I spoke to Suresh and spoke to anyone, I said, I need around 200,000 dirhams. Now let that sink in. Here is a guy, me, calling up people and telling them I need 200,000 dirhams in total, which I will borrow, maybe bits and pieces, and never pay you back. Let that sink in. Do you think that sounds logical? Do you think that sounds practical? Do you think that's even common sense? Hey, hi, I need 200,000 bucks. I'll never return it. But I needed to complete my education, get a computer, get my life back together. So he listened to what I had to say. 200,000. Okay, Loy. Okay. And then he told me, Loy, I don't have 200,000 to give you right away. Okay. So I was like, okay, you can give me whatever. I was expecting 100 bucks, 500 bucks, whatever. He said, Loy, but I'll tell you what. I'll give you a check. I'll give you a check. Okay. You take the check and get yourself a few things. You need computer, you need internet. Okay. And just to kickstart things. And then we'll see. I was like, okay. Yeah. I didn't know how much he was going to give me. Remember, I asked 200,000. He wrote down a check and he gave it to me. And I'll tell you, I don't know whether it was my jaw drop or whether, but I know one thing, I had tears in my eyes. Because he gave me 15,000 dirhams, AED, 15,000. That was the first payment, I think. And he said, you buy your computer, I remember telling him iMac, okay? But he had computers, but he didn't have an iMac. I remember that because if I told him computer, he would have given me one of his. So I said iMac because that's what I used. I said second hand I'll be buying. I know one guy who gives me a cheap. His name was Jay. I used to always deal with him. So he used to give me refurbished or second hand iMacs, whatever. And he would give me at a good price. Okay. So iMac and then internet connection, I could upgrade it for my phone. And then after that, he said, do you have any money for food and all that? All that he had put in that 15,000. Food, iMac, this, that. And then finally, after everything, he said, do you have how will you travel? I said, sir, I travel by, taxi or whatever. Or I ask people for a lift. He's saying, okay, I'll tell you what. The car you came in just now? I said, yeah, it was a Nissan Tida. Yeah. Saying, you have a license? I said, I have a license. He's saying, okay. My driver normally uses this car to take things around, guests or whatever. You take this car. I'm serious, huh? I'm not joking. He said he'll give me his car. His car. This was his part of the company. Saying, you take the car, just don't crash it, please. Okay. He's saying, petrol also, I'll give you a card. You put the petrol money and you drive around. I'm not joking. I'm serious. I walked in with no money. I walked in with nothing, not even money for food. And here is a guy who never met me until then, whom I pitched, I want 200,000 dirhams, but I'll never pay you back. And he says, fine, you don't have to pay me back. He gives me 15,000 bucks. The first buy not only computer, food. He also gives me a car. He even asked me, do you have a place to stay? I said, I already have a place to stay. Okay. And then he said, Loy, once you get your computer, everything sorted out, come back again, I'll give you some more money. Let that sink in. I just kept quiet. I don't know whether I was in shock. I don't know what I was. And then he called that lady, once again, the dark lady who didn't like me very much. He called her. And then he said, he spoke in Malayalam and told her, okay, then Nissan treated and then give him the gift. And she was like, she immediately said, like in Malayalam, like, give it him for what? Maybe they were close or whatever. Close in the sense, maybe she knew him for years. But, like she was complaining on, just give. And she was not at all very happy because she kind of maybe realized, maybe I was helping a lot of poor people or whatever. So he gave me this thing. She was not happy at all. Okay. So after I got all this, I told him, sir, I'll give you the receipts for everything. No, 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 I don't want the receipts. You just take the money. No, no, so I will give you the receipts. And he's saying, you just focus on this thing. And he said, can you find out how much for your course to complete your course? So I said, I'll let you know all that. So I took the check. I took the money. He told me where to encash. I took the car keys. And as I was walking out, I couldn't. It didn't settle in until I finally went and sat in that Nissan Tira and sat down. Once I sat down in the car, it was quiet. When you enter a car, and it was slightly hot because Dubai, it's, Sharjah, very, very hot. So obviously I had to put on the AC. So I put it on. There was a Malayalam music playing because when that guy, I had to switch it off. I put on the AC, I sat down there. And I just reflected, what the hell just happened? Here is a guy I never met. I met him for the first time. And he gave me a 15,000 bucks check. And he told me, go buy your iMac. And he told me, go get an internet connection. And he told me, you want to travel? Okay, here's a car. So here I was, maybe 48 hours ago, no food. And I got someone to give me food. No place to stay. Someone gave me a place to stay. No car. Someone gave me a car. And they gave me money to buy my computer. And I don't have to return it. And I was told, find out how much to complete your course. And I'll pay for that also. And I just sat down in that car. I was just like this. Normally a person would say, yes, or something. I'm telling you honestly, I just sat down in the car. I was like, I just tried to take it all in and I was like, okay, what's next? Because that's the only thing I could think of. What's next? And I was like, okay, I have to go get the iMac. Yeah. I have to encash the check. Go get the iMac. And, okay, first let me do that. So I took the car. I drove out. And I called up this guy, Jay. His name is Jay. Jay Motowani. Yeah. He was in Dubai. He was next to, he was at, for those of you who live in Dubai, Dubai, Khalid Center, which is opposite to the old Spinneys. I don't know if the Spinneys is destroyed. Dubai Street, there was Khalid Center. It is, I'm sure, it's a landmark. It is still there next to Choitram 24 Hours. So Khalid Center, he was there at the mezzanine floor. He used to sell computers, laptops, all Apple related, everything Apple. So I called him. I said, hey, Jay, kaisa hai? Because I had to deal with him. Hey, hero, kaisa hai na? Big boss used to call me. Hey, how you talk. Okay. So immediately I Told him my story. I told him, see, listen, I don't have a job, I don't have money, I don't have anything, but I need a Apple iMac to do my work. So I didn't tell him that I already how much money or whatever. I told I need a iMac. Give me the cheapest one you have, but the one that is working. Just give me a iMac. Give me the cheapest one. I'll pay full cash. I don't want this. I don't want installment. Nothing. I want to do my work and all that. So I said, do you have anything? He told me I have something. तू आजा. Okay. मैं देखूंगा क्या कर सकता हूँ. Okay, I have one piece, but you come. So I said I'm coming within like one hour, 1.5 hours, because it was quite a distance from Sharjah Hamriyah Free Zone to Dubai. You can check it, Google search online. Hamriyah Free Zone Sharjah to Khalid Center in Bur Dubai. It's quite a distance. I told him I'll go to the bank, take the money, put some petrol, drive all the way to you. So by the time I reached there, I think it was 12 in the afternoon. Okay. I will not drag this too long because it's already 51 minutes. The next part is the Tony Robbins. That is another crazy story you'll not believe. It's crazy. It's unbelievable because you'd not believe me. Like I told you, like until now, I told you, someone gave me cash and said, never return it. How is it possible? Same with this Tony Robbins thing. Okay. So I decided I'll drive to him. And lo and behold, after I reached there, I think he's from Mumbai. Mumbai, Gujarati or Marathi. I think Marathi. Plum guy, J. Motwani. I went, parked the car and went up to meet him. Hey, hero, kaisa hai? And all that. Said to my Mac. He's saying, Sun, मेरे पास एक piece है, machine है. He told, because he speaks in Hindi, in English, and he knows Arabic also. It was a small shop in a corner, small shop, like, literally, it's like this is a glass corner, it's a glass. Here, the pieces are kept. One person can sit here and it's wall to wall. You can see all the second-hand pieces. One person can sit here. There's a table. He sits across the table, and behind is a small room where only one person can go and do some work, like welding or repair work. So he used to sell second-hand pieces. And then, obviously stack all the laptops, whatever. Small shop. So he told me, see, Loy, I have one piece. I have two pieces, but the piece that will suit you is this iMac. I think it was 6,000, if I'm not mistaken, 6,000 or whatever. He said, but since you want iMac, this is what it is. I can give you cheaper if you want, but since you want to do some work and this and that, his software all I'll put for you, no problem. But this is the iMac. He showed it to me. I think it was a 27-inch, slightly older model. I think this is a good piece. He's saying, I'm being very transparent with you. I'm not making any money on this. It's not a business talk because you need help. I'm not making any money there. I think he made a margin of $200 or something. He said, I can sell it easily for 1,000 more. You just give me $200 extra. So give me cost to cost at around 6,000 or less than that. I said, yeah, that'll be good. He's saying all softwares, everything, you can give me a list. I'll put all of it for you, whatever you want. Okay. I think the deal was done then and there itself. I took the iMac. And I was happy. Went all the way home. Set up the iMac on the table. And the next part was the Tony Robbins. I had to write to Tony Robbins for my course material. And yes, I also have to find out, because he had told me, right, find out how much it is for your course certification, how much money it is. And this was another very strange, because here the people who are offering the certification for coaching, they were all Goras, white folks. And nothing was less than 15,000, 20,000, somewhere sky high. How would I convince them to give it to me at obviously I could ask for free, but nobody was going to give for free. And then Tony Robbins, how do you write to a guy who's a global celebrity, global icon? You write to his company. I don't think they give a fuck. And if you don't know, none of these uh, personality coaches and all that. There was nothing like virtual online. By that time, there was just videos where you could access, but it was not a certification program. I wanted to have a proper certification program, and I wanted to order all his material and go through it. I was like, how do I get this? Free was the goal, but I know that free he wouldn't give. So could you give me a discount, which they never give? Try. Go to Tony Robbins, ask for a discount. They'll not even answer your email. I was like, okay, what do I do? But anyway, I was like, okay, first things first, got a computer, got an internet connection. Now we'll figure out what is next. Given that now 55 minutes are done, nearly an hour. I don't want to drag this anymore. But in the next episode, I don't know if next one will be the last one, but next one is I'll tell you how I managed to get the various coaches to give me, uh, help me get the coaching certification because they would conduct the program. How, to my shock, I realized none of these coaching programs had any value. Okay, that's a, and then there's another small twist in the story where one guy, who was supposed to be my best friend, who was supposed to do very well, he cheated me of the check that Arun had given me. And finally, Tony Robbins responds to me and gives me a shock of my life. And then, yes, that from there, I get connected to the guy with the fake degree certificate. What happened? I think that will be the last chapter. I don't know if I'm going to elaborate on the fake degree story because then if I speak on that, it'll be another part in itself. So, yeah, I finished sharing with you the impossible, unbelievable story of I got 200,000 bucks. How I got that. So, there's the first part, 15,000. So, yeah, let me know if you watch the video right up to the end because that is important for me to know whether I should make the next part. If yes, mention that you watch the whole video to the end and you're interested in part what? 4? Part 4? No, sorry, part 5. Part 5. Yeah, you're interested in part 5. It's not just for my ego that I'm saying, hey, tell me you want to see part 5. Only then. No. If only you're interested, because remember, it takes like 1 hour. It's not an easy, simple thing. So, one is, are you interested in knowing that story? And which part of the story touched you? It'll be nice to know if you are interested. And yeah, are you interested in part 5? Tony Robbins writing to me that so-called best friend cheating me of all the money. And the biggest shocker, one of the biggest shockers was also after spending all the money for coaching programs only to discover it has zero value, man. Seriously, any coaching program you do in UAE has zero value in terms of certification, government recognition. Yeah, that's the right word. And then, yes, how I met the guy with the fake degree. What a twist in the story. Meeting the guy with the fake degree, and that is how my life got destroyed again, but this time even worse. All right. Yalla. So, this was part 4. Comment down below. Did you watch the whole video? Are you interested in part 5? And which part of the story really blew your mind off? And by the way, just so that in case you're curious, Arun Shaker passed away some time ago. I'd made a video on it. Yeah. It was a very sad moment. Yeah. Anyway, I'll never meet another human being like him who gave me the money and said, no, I don't want it back. You're not going to give it back. You are going to pay it forward. You're going to do it for other people. Yeah. Just remember, it was just this sheet of paper and pencil. that changed everything. Yeah, you guys take care. Comment below. Remember, I read it. All right. Which part? Did you watch the whole thing? Do you want part 5? Most importantly, which part touched you? I'd like to know. Take care.